giant 9-masted junks escorted by dozens of supply ships, patrol boats, and transports for cavalry horses. Crew totaled more than 27,000 sailors and soldiers. This was the famed armada of the powerful Ming Dynasty, a herald to the world that after a century of Mongol domination, China was returned to its rightful rulers. At its helm was an unlikely admiral, a commoner from the outlying Yunnan province, who rose to become one of the most powerful figures of the Ming Dynasty. His name was Zheng He. Zheng He was 11 when his hometown was conquered by the Ming. He was plucked from his family, brought to court as a gift for the emperor's son, and castrated.
Eunuchs appear often in Chinese history, and the reason that they gained power was because they had much greater access to the emperor and to imperial women because they didn't pose a threat.
Zheng He soon rose through the ranks to become the chief lieutenant to the emperor himself. Together, they sketched out a bold plan for conquest of the seas. Zheng He was named to lead an extraordinary fleet of ships. It was an engineering challenge unlike anything a Chinese dynasty had ever attempted.
He was somebody who definitely wanted to create a personal stamp on the world.
He ordered 337 ocean-going ships. An additional 188 flat-bottom transports were converted for ocean travel.
Just to get the building materials together, get the craftsmen, get the designers and all the rest, and then, say, put together a fleet of 300 ships is remarkable. I mean, the British fleet in the time of Napoleon, it had really an upper limit of about 100 ships of the line, men of war.
An army of 30,000 carpenters, sailmakers, and sailwrights worked and lived at the shipyards, working day and night on Zheng He's magnificent fleet. At the center of the enormous shipyard, 7 1,500-foot dry docks were separated from the Yangtze River by 25-foot-high dams. Once the ships were complete, the dams were opened, flooding the dry docks. The flagship of the fleet was a spectacular 9-masted vessel measuring 440 feet, nearly 1.5 times the length of a football field, making it the largest wooden ship ever built. Designed for stability, it had a flat bottom filled with heavy ballasts of stones and an innovative exterior rudder post that could be raised to reduce the ship's draft in shallow waters. Watertight bulwark compartments, inspired by the partition shape of bamboo stalks, stored drinking water and supplies, and kept the ship afloat if the hull was breached. The second deck had living quarters for the crew. The kitchen, mess hall, and operations were on the third, while the fourth deck was used as a high fighting platform. Fully rigged, the flagships had 9 staggered masts and 12 square sails of red silk soaring skyward. Other ships were armed with as many as 24 bronze cannons, capable of firing up to 900 feet. Their bows and sterns had reinforced high profiles for ramming smaller boats. Some ships carried horses or transported troops. Others were freshwater tankers, packed with provisions for up to 28,000 men.
We're talking about a really, really big fleet. It had as many soldiers and sailors on it as the Spanish Armada of 1588. It had about twice as many ships.
In 1405, the eunuch commander Zheng He set sail for the world.
Zheng He was not an explorer. What Zheng He was doing was what we would call in modern terminology power projection.
During his 28-year naval career, Admiral Zheng He visited 37 countries, traveled around the tip of Africa into the Atlantic Ocean, and commanded a single fleet whose numbers surpassed the fleets of all Europe combined. Zheng He's voyages established China as a superpower on the world's oceans. But in 1433, China's age of exploration came to a crashing